Welcome to Dr. Janet Franco's new show, aka Soulful Rosie, with her co-host and resident physician of her triple crown of health and wellness, Dr. Denise Tropia, as they delve into the world's most advanced health sciences available and bring the experts to you. Soulful Rosie's life continues on her long, tenacious journey as a humanitarian, supporting our veterans and those who suffer. This earned her Woman of the Year with My Vegas Magazine 2018. Dr. Denise is a long-time podiatrist and foot surgeon in Las Vegas, Nevada. As they embrace the love with Dr. Franco's heartfelt insights and Dr. Denise with her vast knowledge of science and medicine, the dynamic duo of complementary healthcare and healing. Reach out to them online. They would love to hear from you. They are excited to spend the next hour with you on the Soulful Rosie and Friends live television show.
Well, hello everyone. It's about time. This show has actually been talked about for quite a few years, and we are so excited to finally be with all of you. The years and years have passed working with veterans and working with people that have been injured and keeping advocacy going for the freedom to buy vitamins in this country has really been my walk. And today I'm so excited to now debut this show, Soulful Rosie and Friends. And I want to introduce you now to my amazing co-host, Dr. Denise Tropia. Hello and good morning. I guess that intro told all about us. So, hello.
Hello.
Well, we have quite a show for you each week because of the 60, 80 years combined in the world of science and medicine. We have got for you the greatest experts in the area of science and medical advancements in the world today. So that's pretty outstanding, wouldn't you say?
Yes, it is. It is. We've got alternative health modalities that have been around for a long time.
Yes.
But bringing them to the forefront and having people understand what's going on is what we're all about.
Amen to that. So this morning, what we'd like to do is start the show with, I guess, a little nugget, right?
Yes.
Soulful Rosie's Nuggets. I have been in personal development now for many, many years, and raising 4 children and 2 of them critically sick. I had a brain injury child and a son that was born with critical asthma and eczema, and I had to carry him on a pillow for nearly 8 months, as you know. And so I decided, rather than to overdose my children, which they went through that with doctors, and I want to say that with a disclaimer right now, that medicine, we have a medical doctor right here, a podiatrist, but sometimes we need to look at alternative when the medicine gets overwhelming. My youngest son was on over 12 meds a day at the age of 8 months old, so I knew I had to do something. And that's where I decided to get into the world of a complementary alternative medicine. And so this morning I thought, because of everything going on in the world and all of the absolute fear, and people seem to be dying and suiciding, and working with veterans for 14 years with the suicide and the PTSD problem, I really felt that the law of love, which will be on the screen, I have a really cool quote that I found, and it's, when love came first to the earth, the spring spread rose buds to receive them. And that was written by Thomas Campbell. So I want to delve in for a second about the law of love. You know, in the seminars, we did a lot of work with the universal law and universal principle, and we used to teach the only way out is in. And we discovered that the number one problem that we have faced with people that are maybe a little bit off the road of where they want to be, is the lack of self-love. To be able to love yourself enough. You can't give it away, just like money you can't give away unless you have it, right? But self-love is something that we hope to bring you some of the greatest breakthroughs and modalities that will literally help in that arena as well. Because when you get up in the morning, you feel good, and your emotional body is good, and you feel good mentally, then obviously you're going to be more successful, right? So under the law of love, you know, like Wayne Dyer says, if you take your face off and you turn it around, there's all your answers. So we try to find these answers outside of ourselves. We try to do it through our work, and maybe through a relationship, or through money, or through power. But all the work that I did as a life coach and work with some of the wealthiest people here in Las Vegas, Dr. Denise, I realized that they had all that they wanted. They had all that they wanted, but they were missing one thing: fulfillment.
Yep.
That void. We're all born with a void. And it's our job as a human being, not doing, a human being, to be able to embrace who we are. I'm going to ask you a question. I ask this to all my clients. If I gave you a blank check, and that could be money, connections, vision, dream, doesn't matter what it is, if I gave you a blank check, what would you do with that blank check? Can you answer that question? Because if you can't, that's where the journey is, right there. Because when you get up in the morning, like I said, and you don't know where you're going and what you're doing, and you're doing that 9 to 5 thing, which is fine for a lot of people, but if you're not happy, I tell my boys, let joy be your governor. Let joy be your governor. Because if you don't have the joy and you lose the jump in your step, then life doesn't seem so great, right? So today, with all that's going on with so-called COVID and the scandemic and all these things that are going on, you know, we've been locked in, right? We've been locked in, and this is, if you look at it, if you really go deep and look at it, the people that I've been walking through suicide situations, if you just take a moment and realize that the silver lining is right in front of you. This is a time for us to get to know ourselves. Some families are seeing their kids. I mean, the babysitters have been raising our children in this generation, right? So we want to be able to understand ourselves and take a moment. Do you take those 8 to 10 minutes a day to be quiet and to listen. You know, prayer is asking. Meditation is listening. Do you listen? Do you listen to what this amazing God, angels, whatever you believe in, is trying to tell you? Well, that's what this show's all about. This show is empowering your physical body, your mental body, your spiritual body, and your etheric body, and your financial body. So we are so excited to be able to bring you some of the greatest experts the world has ever known. And you will see that through the Triple Crown of Health and Wellness. So today on our show, we are going to be debuting what Soulful Rosie and Friends introducing the Triple Crown is really all about. And before we go into a couple ideas with you, I wanted to, there's another slide that'll be up in a second here. And I want to ask you guys a question before I recite my mantra. Do you know what your mantra is in life? Do you know, like, what is that elevator speech that explains you? And if you don't know that, that's a good way to start as well. So one day, it was kind of funny. My kids say, you know, Mama, we're at school, and the friends or teachers say, what does your mom do? They just laugh because they don't know, because I wear many hats, right? So I said, just say humanitarian, because that's really what my passion is, right? But then I thought to myself, you know what? I've got to have some kind of a mantra or a mission or a statement that says, this is why I'm here. Dr. Janet Franco, Soulful Rosie, whatever they've called me a lot of names, but either one of those is good. So let me tell you my mantra. I think it's on the screen. When love and intent align with the mind, body, and spirit, we create the art of soulful living. So I believe that my journey here is to empower you and to learn through what I go through. I'm not perfect. So what I go through, I like to learn about life and be able to embrace that and then share it with you. There's a couple shows that I listen to, Dr. Denise, like I think it's Delilah on radio and some of these others that they open their world up. And you know, they have the highest ratings on whether it would be radio or television. Those people that are vulnerable enough to be able to share the realness and the reality of their lives, it feels like we're together. We're not behind a camera. We're with you. So if you're looking on the show right now, which hopefully you are, we'd love to hear comments from you. We'd love to hear or questions that you may have as we go through this journey together, because we will be having a lot of people that we're going to bring in studio and on Zoom soon to interview. So with that said, the law of love, how does it affect you in your life? Because I know you've been a podiatrist surgeon for over 30 years. What got you there? Was that a passion? Was that a love that you had?
Well, I know that my love of science has never wavered. Even from when I was a little girl with science experiments and making that volcano erupt.
Yes, yes.
Mixing stuff together.
Yeah.
I never wavered from it. I've always felt that I had that healing inside of me that I can project to others. But yet, my journey has been a long one. You know, 15 to 20 years of really that soul searching. I know what my purpose is, and that's always been to, you know, help and serve others. What can we do to help people? And that's what pretty much it's all about with me. But then I've also uncovered things within myself, because you realize that you can't suppress that and expect everything else to blossom. Doesn't work that way.
And you know, when times are tough, and I know in my life, especially I love being a mom, but you know, when you go through those times you just don't think you're going to make it another minute, it has to go back to your values. It has to go back to your mission, what you're about, that soulful intent in your life, get you through those moments that, we could probably spend hours here talking about the devastating times that we both have had.
Yes.
Especially being a surgeon, you've had to, you know, bury people, if you will. You've had to give people that horrendous news. So what do you do to get through? What love, what space of love do you use to become the great doctor that you've become?
Pretty much awareness and listening. The awareness of what's really going on around me that will either influence me or have an influence on someone else. And I think with my yoga practice over the last 15 years, that has really helped ground me and also has helped me to understand others, become more compassionate for others,
Yes.
and also heal myself as
Yes.
well. Because happiness is definitely an inside job.
Oh,
You know,
absolutely.
I mean, we
Yes.
can't get it from all the external. You know, as we can see, we can have a lot of material things. We can be very blessed with our financial situation and whatever. But like you said, people are always searching. And going to yoga workshops over the years, I have met a lot of people that were, you know, very well known, very, you know, successful, you know, monetarily.
Well, you had
wise.
issues in 2009, correct? Where
Yes,
you
yeah,
really
my-
had to look at something
I would say
yourself.
those were my health issues. Yes, my health issues was that knock on the door saying, "Wake up, wake up, wake up." You know, you're helping everyone else, you're not helping yourself. And I'm like, yes, self-care, and that could be, you know, topic for another day, right?
Yeah.
Self-care is just so paramount, and I had to learn how to take care of myself, or else I will not be able to take care of others, be it my children, my other family members, friends, patients, etc.
Well, you know, we're going to be talking about a lot about the immune system in future shows. In this show, we're going to delve into that in a little bit. But I really think that there's a really powerful, if you don't remember anything from this show today, remember one thing, because so many people are going through horrendous situations right now. You want to ask yourself two questions, actually. What would love do now? What would love do now? Maybe it's not always what would Janet do now or what would Rosie do now. What would love do now? Because ego can take over sometimes when we want to yell at somebody or we want to just do things that are just really out of line of who we are. The second question you want to ask yourself is, what is the situation doing for me, not to me? What is the situation doing for you, not to you? So during this time of this massive transformation on our planet and our country, look at those things in your life. And the first thing we want to do is stop blaming others. You know, the law of responsibility is the hardest law to teach. When we did seminars for many years, you know, that day a lot of people wouldn't show up when they found out we were teaching the law of responsibility. Because we always want to point the finger. Like they say, if you're pointing the finger, you got how many looking back at you. And that's so vitally true. So take some of these nuggets that we've shared with you today, and each opening of our show, we want to talk about, you know, miracles that have happened and cool little stories and cool little nuggets for you so you could take it with you and share it with your family. The other thing I think that this has done, being locked down, it's been a time for people that I've talked to that were doing jobs, and again, these jobs can be great for some people, but some people, you know, waiting tables or doing these things that they really don't want to do. This has forced them into a new, like, soulful type of passion that sometimes you need to be slapped upside the head with something to realize that it's really about me and my choices. It's our choices that bring us where we are right now. And with saying that, whatever you think about right now, whatever you feel right now, is going to be your life tomorrow. So change your thoughts, change your life, right? Wayne Dyer, I love it. If you change your thoughts, you change your life. So it's really about us helping to chisel a little bit each week with you, and then opening up a whole new world for you. It took us decades to find these breakthroughs, right? These doctors, they don't just call you back. You have to have a reputation and some respect and be in the trenches before the scientists will even give you the time of day. And so because of all of the work that you and I have done in the trenches, and many, many years on radio and doing a couple TV shows myself, and all your work with patients and surgery and yoga, we have such a plethora of great information for you. So we'd like to hear from you. We're going to, our new website just went up, Dr. Denise.
Yes, I know.
Soulful Rosie, i.e. soulfulrosie.com. And we're building up our shopping cart. We're building up all of the media pages. So all of these shows that we do will be on the media page. And the calendar. So if we're speaking somewhere, I know the world's starting to open up a little bit. So if we're speaking somewhere, we're doing another event or another interview somewhere, it'll all be on soulfulrosie.com. And do check it out. Do check out that site because you'll learn a lot. And we're going to talk today a little bit about the Triple Crown curriculum. Wait till you hear this. I was sharing this with an expert yesterday, and he says, "What are you doing?" I said, "Yeah, we're going to have the most advanced curriculum for advanced health sciences ever put together and combined in the history of the world, accredited. So it's great for continuing education. So this would be great for chiropractors and doctors that want to start moving into some complementary medicine like you did."
Oh, yes, absolutely. I mean, we have to really have a place and a platform for that.
Yes.
Because it's so scattered all around.
Yes.
And even people, the layperson that really would like to understand what other things are available to me.
Yes.
We can bridge both.
Yes.
I think that's where my purpose comes in. Bridging both mainstream with the alternative, because it's all, you need to have the whole story. Like with anything,
Yes.
you just can't have
Yes.
half of the story, because
Yes.
where's the other half? And you can make a decision based on all
create it.
that. So that's where I really enjoy, helping people, consulting with people, and just going by, my own experience.
Yes, yes. I agree. So I would like
Yes.
to have a toast for our first debut show,
Yes.
Soulful Rosie and Friends,
Yes, toast.
introducing you to the Triple Crown of Health and Wellness. And before we go to our first break, why don't you share a little bit about what this golden pink drink that we are having right now? Let's tell them a little bit about what this is.
Well, what this is a complex of nucleotides, which
What's
is
that?
a DNA
Okay.
DNA supplement. It's the proteins that's necessary for your DNA to keep your cells healthy.
Yes, delicious.
And yes, it is. I have one every day, and it comes in these little containers in which they look like little sweet tarts. You pop them in your water and you drink them.
And no sugar.
No
No
sugar.
sugar.
And
And
they have vitamin C as well, which is very important for antioxidant, for your collagen, your bones, ligaments, etc., along with all the nucleotides. These are protein-derived extracts that is so necessary for your health. And we will talk about that
Yes.
more in the show and in other shows. But it is just one of the stepping stones that we can do to help us improve our health on an everyday basis.
Amen. And those people out there, and I know a lot of you guys that drink soda all day long, I have a piece of trivia for you. I was reading a science article a few years back, probably 10 years ago, and it blew me away. Do you know how many glasses of water it takes to clean one soda out of the body? Guess.
I don't know. I'm sure that's quite a few.
It's above 50.
Yeah, I believe it.
80 glasses of water to rinse the body from soda. So with that said, I was so happy when Forever Healthy came out with the cola flavor.
Yes.
And I love it. This has actually become my favorite one besides the green tea, but this one I love. But you can add bubbly like Perrier to
yes,
this.
you can do that.
And it's a great alternative to Coke and to Pepsi. And when people try to change their diet, we don't ask people to do it overnight. But when you're talking to people that are diabetics and you're talking to people that are suffering from these dysfunction and these whether it be emotions or whether it's conditions or whatever they have, they don't know where to start. The good place to start is your diet. And if you can just start weaning out so you're not doing everything at once.
Yeah, don't do it all at once, cold turkey, but just a little bit at a time.
You can't, because if you did that, then I think a lot of the detox that we would talk about and different things like that, I think that it would just be too abrasive. Because I know when my son had eczema, in the studies that I did again a lot of white papers I read and research that talked about the liver, right? And these organs that are cleansing organs. So if your organ cannot clean it out, guess what it'll take it? It'll take it to the skin. Your skin is the largest organ of the body. And so if you're having issues with any of these things, we don't make any claims and we don't do any of that here. Nothing heals, whatever. We give you the tools that your body needs to cleanse it, to do it itself. And that's what I love these, because this is what, 18%, right?
18% nucleotides.
Nucleotides
Yeah.
to the 100% that's in these bottles here,
In
which
the,
you're going to be seeing that through the hour. We're going to talk a little
Mhm.
bit more about the Forever Healthy products. We're also going to talk about LiveO2, which those people that know me and a lot of people watching, I know my world has been hyperbaric oxygen therapy, and I'm kind of, become the queen of that because I've represented a lot of these amazing experts. That the hyperbaric is a pressurized oxygen tank, right? And I've actually been in them, and they're pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But the first veteran that we helped way back about 15, 20 years ago, he did about 40 to 80 dives. And Dr. Paul Harch ended up seeing, once it gets into from the blood, and then you have that saturated oxygen that gets into the plasma, then the magic can begin. Because when it gets in the plasma at 21% oxygen, then that's when we start seeing the stem cells grow. And on its own, the body's way of doing that is to be able to restore the brain by feeding. It's like, it's like starving yourself. When you starve yourself, it's pretty miserable, right? When you starve the brain, like with PTSD and PTSD and traumatic brain injury,
other injuries.
the brain, right, is suffocating.
Well, any type of injury to the body, you're going to have lack of oxygen there due to the injury, and oxygen has to get there.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about ways such as hyperbaric, how to increase the microcirculation,
Yes.
which
Oh,
is
my
where
gosh, yes.
75% of all the action takes place in
and
our
that's
body.
new recently, right? The whole thing with microcirculation has been now, because I know the stuff that we've been using, like the Amethyst machine and some of these others. We'll talk about what I went through recently. That again, we're not perfect, and when I went through the dog attack I had recently, it changed my life. It didn't. I was a different person after that attack, and I really understood at that point, not the level of our veterans, but I understood what it's like to see that same thing over and over and over. That dog attacking us, my dog and I kept seeing it every night, right? So I was blown away. But I noticed when I used the Avicen, the magical power of oxygen. It's just what we breathe. We call it the breath of life.
Well,
right?
we just think it's just oxygen, just an element, which a very vital element.
Yes.
But after researching all the different things it could do, turning on genes, turning off the bad genes.
Yes.
It's the master healer.
Yes.
And when we talk about these different modalities and LiveO2, we will have Mark Squibb on next week.
Yes.
And he is the CEO of LiveO2.
Founder.
And he will talk about the product, the science behind it, which is very fascinating, of course, because it's physiology and it's right up my alley, right?
Well, I think it's going to
be,
and the difference between hyperbaric and LiveO2 is going to be some great news for all of you. I know we're going to be going to a commercial break here in a minute or two, so I want to just kind of give everybody an overview of what we're going to be seeing and hearing about over the next half an hour or whatever time we have left. But we're going to be talking about the Triple Crown. So we have the three jewels of the crown. Okay, we have the Sapphire Crown, right, which is
oxygen and how to improve your circulation.
Yeah, microcirculation, right? And then we have our Emerald Jewel, which
talks about DNA supplementation and basically getting back to the foundation of our health.
And DNA repair.
Right,
yes.
and the repair.
And then we have our Amethyst Crown. You notice I picked my favorite colors. Amethyst Crown, which is our quantum section.
Well, this is quantum. We are living in the quantum era.
Yes.
And what we want to bring to the table is how important it is in our everyday world, and we have to explain it to the masses for them to understand it. Because when I was in school, classical physics, I always had problems with. But I did not have problems with quantum physics. And I just, because it just came so natural to me.
That's why you're teaching it.
And that's why I'm able to, put it on that level, because the quantum leap is here.
Well, this phone here, can't see it on the back of my phone, but we have these filters. We have these quantum filters on our phone, and I know some of you have heard about these, but it's amazing how they can modulate the energy and the frequencies that's in this. So I know we're going to go to commercial break, but before we do, why don't you explain how these filters work?
Well, what filters are doing is it's a hologram technology in which they're able actually to modulate as you get the cell phone tower reception to your phone. Rather than have that EMF that can be very harmful to us, it's going to modulate it into a more desirable frequency for our body. Because a lot of these EMFs is what is damaging to us. And we don't realize it because we can't see it. We know it's there. We know we may feel tired, run down. But, what's going on here? Well, could very well be all these EMFs that we're exposed to. So we're going to be talking more about that as well.
Well, it's interesting. Sometimes if you're just having a bad day and you don't really know what it is, you can't see it. No. But it's there. We've seen videos of birds literally falling out of the sky when they fly over these towers. So we're going to be able to offer quite a bit of that for you. Again, education for you. So I know we're going to be going to commercial break, right, producer?
Yes.
And okay. I want to say something about little baby Christopher. Have you ever had somebody in your life that you could say, if it wasn't for that person or that scenario or that situation, I don't think I would have made it? Well, again, the people that know me, I've been working with veterans for now almost 15 years. And I came to the end of the road for myself. I just couldn't do it anymore. When you deal with suicide all the time and you're dealing with PTSD, I noticed that I was taking some of it on. And it was been about 3 or 4 years now. And right at the tail end of going, I was going to throw in the towel, literally, because I couldn't do it anymore. We had the most amazing story about Eden Carlson. Eden Carlson drowned and was pronounced dead for 5 hours. She found Dr. Harch out of New Orleans, and they literally restored her brain to full capacity. She was on the Today Show. So this little baby Christopher, he drowned here in Las Vegas, and they happened to see the show. So the experts got a hold of me, and I went and saw Christopher. And if I can get this without crying, because we're going to commercial break, so I can water. So I remember the day I saw Christopher. I went into his home. Barry Muse, my partner, and I, we went in to see him, and he was as hard as this table, Dr. Denise. And his eyes couldn't move. He just stared at the ceiling. And I remember leaning over, and they sent him home hospice. They sent him home to basically die. So I leaned over, and I said to this little boy, I said, Christopher, you fight, and I'll fight. You fight, and I'll fight. So today, he's alive. We got him 62 hyperbaric dyes were donated. They donated an Amethyst. They've been donating the DNA, and do you know, we're getting our little boy back. And he actually is here today, right now as we speak. He's getting his first stem cell shot from Dr. Abby here in Las Vegas. So we're going to be bringing Christopher and Cynthia, his grandma, here to do a little interview with them, talking about this amazing young boy that just did 2 weeks in the hospital. He just got out, and he's still got a trach in his throat. Wow. So if you're thinking that your life is crumbling, do what I did. Find a place or a person that's going through a little bit more than you and be an inspiration for that person. And it automatically just gives you the energy to live, to love. And so with that said, I think we're going to be going to commercial break now, and I'm so excited. And again, cheers to our debut show, and we'll see you back in a couple minutes. Thank you so much.
there, Dr. Janet Franco here, also known as Soulful Rosie. It's time to take action and join us as we spend these precious moments with our heroes. You will soon meet our 4 brave warriors while they share their courageous stories. Follow our team as we go deep within a space and time rarely felt and seen. Suicides are at an all-time high. PTSD is out of control. Please help us help them. How, you ask? It's been an honor to have worked with our military veterans and their families, as well as our first responders over the last 15 years. Our Treat Now Coalition has helped to advocate for the historical Mission Act bill. Now it's time to hear their stories up close and personal. We will delve in and introduce them to the Triple Crown of health and wellness. They gave all. Now it's time for us to align and observe these rare, unprecedented journeys of faith and miracles. Meet these dedicated warriors as they explore a new battle, facing their own restoration, one day at a time. They are willing to share their inner fears and touching moments of profound healing and awakening with us. So we ask for your support. Embrace each one of them. Together we will root them on as they pay it forward to their own comrades by encouraging them to take the leap of faith as well. Thank you for watching and caring about the future of our brave warriors. You can support them by becoming a sponsor, donating to our series. Please visit soulfulrosie.com for more information. Thank you.
As we continue to grow and build a brand, social media shows continue to develop and discover new possibilities to help one another. Our affordable services will help us move to the next level of our journey. Host your own show to inspire or entertain others for as low as $150 per month.
You have 20 shows a week, live stream.
We are looking for sponsors. We showcase your business products and services on our network to be seen by your target market for as low as $200 a month.
That's 2 percentage points short of reaching critical mass, which will lead to faster results. We have 20 plus shows with a reach of over 80,000. We'll give you commercial ads, website link, and connections to nonprofit organizations.
Let us promote and advertise your event, giving your venue the red carpet treatment. This platform allows venues that feature entertainment, singers, bands, DJs, comedy, fashion, corporate events, and family events to be showcased in a new direction that also involves your audiences starts at $200 an hour. We also provides video editing, website builder, commercial video for your business, music videos, photography, provided by our affiliates. As we build our community, we pay it forward. Our nonprofit organization GI Connections is all about giving back to our community. Join us create outreach programs to help our community and live a happy, peaceful, and unity. Let us bring the world to you. As we continue to grow and build a brand, social media shows continue to develop and discover new possibilities to help one another. Our affordable services will help us move to the next level of our journey. Host your own show to inspire or entertain others for as low as $150 per month.
You have 20 shows a week, live stream.
We are looking for sponsors. We showcase your business products and services on our network.
Welcome to Dr. Janet Franco's new show, aka Soulful Rosie, with her co-host and resident physician of her Triple Crown of health and wellness, Dr. Denise Tropia, as they delve into the world's most advanced health sciences available and bring the experts to you. Soulful Rosie's life continues on her long, tenacious journey as a humanitarian, supporting our veterans and those who suffer. This earned her Woman of the Year with My Vegas Magazine 2018.
Well, we are back. This is Dr. Janet Franco, also known as Soulful Rosie, and I'm here with my amazing co-hostess, Dr. Denise Tropia. So welcome back, and we're going to give you a lot of information here in the last few minutes of our show. So let's talk a little bit about the Triple Crown, and I know we have a couple things we want to show here, but let's talk a little bit more about what actually is a Triple Crown and why are we so excited about it?
Well, the Triple Crown has really just ignited me in seeing the proven alternative modalities that we have available to us. How can we collaborate them with all the experts, all the research, because it needs to do one thing, and that's to put the body back into balance.
Homeostasis, people.
Homeostasis, yes. That's
We got to teach them that word. Homeostasis means balance.
That's because with disease, what is it? It's dis-ease.
Yes.
The dis-ease of the body, not in balance.
Yes.
So whether you look at it physiologically, energetically, that's where the problems lie. So when we look at the Triple Crown, there are 3 facets of the crown. The one jewel is a sapphire jewel, in which we talk about oxygen, hydrogen, the elements that we are all made of, that we all need to survive, and how we utilize that in order to improve our health. The next one,
Dr. Denise,
yes.
I wanted to say something with the LiveO2. Next week we're going to be interviewing the founder and the developer of LiveO2, but the beauty of that is so many people cannot afford hyperbaric. It's really hard, like with Christopher, to take them and bring them back. So believe it or not, this is a portable unit you could have in your gym, in your home. And I can't wait, because guess what? We're going to be going. There's one in town I found. So we're going to be going and using it here. So we'll be able to talk about Mark next week with our experience of our own experience with the LiveO2. So that I just found out yesterday.
Oh, wow.
I didn't tell you that. So
Oh, no,
So,
that's going to be
woo-hoo.
great, because we are the guinea pigs.
Yeah, we
that
are.
We try
And it's
everything.
affordable. It's
Yes.
affordable.
And I
So,
think that's the biggest thing,
Yes.
is that this can be done more on an outpatient basis.
yes.
It's more user-friendly. But the way he explains it, I love to watch his videos.
Phenomenal.
And just because he puts it down, once again, his background, he's an electrical engineer.
Which is
And
weird.
here, I know, but when you think about it, this is where we're at.
Yeah.
He talks about the plumbing and all that. So we're looking forward to that. Then our next one is the emerald. The emerald jewel talks about the DNA.
Yes.
It talks about what we are made of, what plants and animals, and we're all made of those organic compounds.
Yes.
The carbon, the oxygen, the hydrogen, the nitrogen. This is the central dogma of life.
Yes.
Okay, so we talk about the DNA and the importance of, if you're not supplementing the basic foundation, then the
And we're
rest
going to
of
have
the
that
thing's
expert
not gonna
on
work.
in a couple weeks.
Oh, yes.
Talking about immune regen, talking about DNA and how we can repair it.
Yes.
Repair
Yes.
the DNA. I mean, that is huge.
Well, our DNA is going through so much trauma day in and day out.
Especially now, right?
Due to internal and external sources, whether we talk about the foods we eat, the air we breathe, the toxins all around us, it's there's
it
a lot
breaks
of
the nucleotides down, millions of times every day, right?
Oh, yes,
Right?
yes. So there's, cell replication, cell death. It's going on all the time. It's a continuum
Yes.
of what's going on in our body, because our body is an amazing, resilient.
And we're gonna have this incredible new product, new system where they can actually swab your cheek and check your DNA and
Yes.
create a plant-based formula just for your DNA. Do you know not everybody does good on apples? Not everybody does good on bananas. Not everybody does good
Well,
on...
yes, that's right. We have
right?
to see what are our predispositions.
Yes.
What are things that we have to supplement? When we talk about, the DNA, yes, over 99% of it, we are all the same, but it is that 1%
1%.
that makes us different with our different predispositions. Yes, every day when I'm doing history and physicals, and in the history, what is your family history?
Yes.
Well, my mom has this, my dad has that, Uncle Harry has this. Well, you know what? Your
My
DNA.
dog has this. Oh, no, not the dog.
Well, they are family members, but your DNA does not have to be your destiny.
I love that.
I love that saying.
When you came
too.
up with that, I was like, that's really cool. And,
Well-
and what's the other one? We can't control the...
Oh, we cannot control the virus, and we're saying it metaphorically.
Metaphorically.
There are viruses throughout, when innate and wherever, I mean, we're not
Everywhere.
talking about the virus, but you cannot control the virus, but you can control the host. And who are the hosts? we are. So we can definitely empower our health. And this is what the Triple Crown brings to the table. What can we do to maintain and regain our health?
And keep it simple.
Absolutely.
Simple.
Simple. Until everybody makes it complex to where you feel like you can't understand it.
Yes.
But, and our last crown is...
Drum roll, you're wearing it.
That's right. The amethyst, the quantum, in which it brings it all together in how quantum energy is all around us. It's all around us, it's inside of us, and it goes down to the smallest atom and molecular level. And when we go down to that quantum-based energy, it's really amazing. Even when we talk about love, love is an energy, hate is an energy, fear is an energy. But we have to also realize that love and fear cannot exist the same.
They can't occupy the same space. That's right.
And the love that is around our heart chakra is so strong, stronger than up here. And when we are projecting that love and all those sensory neurites, as Greg Braden talks about, we have over 40,000 of them, sensory neurites around the heart cell, we see how strong our heart can be. And, you know, this is what we need right now.
Yes.
Remember that song by Dionne Warwick, What the World Needs Now is Love?
Sweet love.
Well, that was written years ago. You know what? It still is the same. It has not changed.
Yes.
And now more than ever, we have to realize that we are entering into a new dimension.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we really have.
Oh, yeah.
We really have.
People are just different. I think there's separating. There's people that are very kind of dense, you know, the energy.
Yes.
And there's people that are really waking up to the spirituality, to the higher frequency ways we treat our body and our emotions and our mind.
And you know what? It may not be all peaches and cream.
No.
No. But you have to, like you said, you have to walk it.
Yeah.
And you have to go through it.
Yes.
You cannot go below it. You cannot go above it. You have to go whether you like it or not.
You know, someone said to me, I was going through my own little session the other day, and she said to me, you know, Jesus didn't have his robe torn and thrown all over the floor. The robe was around him, and the robe was his garment, if you will, energetically or metaphorically, of love that contained the energy that he carried. So get your robe, Annette, get your robe, pull it close, take it with you, and be that person that you want to see in the world. Be it first, right? And I think that's so vitally important. And we're really honored that My Vegas Magazine chose to do some stories on us. This is our whole Triple Crown team here. I believe this magazine is still out on the counters out there. I think there's a couple restaurants that carry it and different things. But if you want to get a copy of it, please get a hold of us. Go to soulfulrosie.com. Our phone number's on there, and get a hold of us directly. And they're actually going to be doing a couple more. Yes, there's the story.
We're on page 59.
Dr. Denise is highlighted in this particular issue. And so it's really started way back in 2018. I was very honored by that story. But, you know, you never know. You never know when people are watching. You don't do it for that reason. You do it because your soul and your heart want to do certain things. But let me tell you something. When you have an act of good and you're giving good, those endorphins, they're just activated, and people can feel it all around you. You don't realize that when you smile at somebody, people can feel it for 50, 80 feet away. Just a smile, because it's down to quantum, it's down to frequency. So we want to keep reminding you that the way that you change and shift is one day, one moment at a time. Your diet, your thoughts, the law of the spoken word, these different things that you're going to be learning each week from us. And I'm so excited too. We're going to have this founder and the developer of the best elderberry in the country. You have not tried elderberry until you tried Las Vegas elderberry. She's going to be with us next week. Christina is going to be sharing with us what she does with this amazing 5-star rated elderberry. And isn't elderberry amazing for the immune system?
Well, I've been a proponent of elderberry for years now.
Yes.
Because for me, it's like the ultimate antioxidant, protector of your immune system,
yes.
etc. I mean, it has so many medicinal qualities. In fact, I was so happy to see that elderberry was finally getting some recognition when I walk into the health food store a couple days before
there?
the pandemic. No, and it was sold out.
Oh, good. Oh,
Which
good.
means that I'm glad people are getting the memo.
Yes.
Well, I think
Christina puts like 11 things in
Yes.
here. This is turmeric. This is orange peel and lemon peel.
fortified.
It's so many things. It tastes delicious. And also she mixes it with her sea moss.
Oh my gosh.
So together, it's like the dynamic duo for the immune system, and it tastes great. So
Especially with the greens.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to have Christina on next week. We're going to have Mark Squibb on next week.
Yes.
And I don't want to fail to mention that we have this amazing guy, Nate. He makes this beautiful jewelry. And the reason I love it, and I know you ordered yours,
Yes.
you'll have yours this weekend, and we're going to wear something each week so we can show it off. But the stones.
What stones did you get?
Oh, Nate, hope you're not watching because I don't know what these are. We've got to have some comedy here, right? But
We'll have.
I'm not sure.
When I wear my stones, I will be able to let you know because I'm going to get moonstone, carnelian, and like a jade or a jasper.
He's making me one with all the chakras.
Oh, there you go.
And
Okay.
the hematite for protection and love and energy, good energy. So we're going to be wearing them each week, and I'm going to learn the stones along. I know a lot of the stones, of the amethyst and different ones, but when you get into a lot of the diversified one, that would be, we'll have to have Nate on, and we'll have to learn all these stones from Nate, you know, and being able to
His
understand.
quality is unbelievable. It's
superb.
superb. It really is. I mean, I've been to a lot of
Scorpio
crystal
on the-
shops.
yes.
And he really does have.
And these will be on our
quality.
shopping cart soon. We're going to be selling these,
Yes.
Dr. Denise. And we just want people to start being more organic. And I think when you're wearing organic things and you're wearing things that are more adaptable to the body and to your soul and to your spirit, I think it's all a part of this massive awakening and healing we're in. Now, I know we're down to the last couple minutes of the show. And I wanted to dedicate, again, I hope I don't cry through this, but I want to dedicate, I know you guys saw the video. I know we're having a little bit of signal issues, so you didn't see the whole video, but next week we'll show it again. But I have a huge passion for our veterans. About 2005, when I was doing radio in Victorville, California, when I got off the air, I was asked to go to lunch with this lady, and I had no idea my life was about to change in a major way. And she said, with all of this you know and all these people you know, can you please help our veterans? Well, I had no idea. I had no idea what she meant. But when she was telling me about this thing called PTSD and traumatic brain injury and their level of diabetes and the disgruntled situation that we're facing in America, they say 22 a day suicide, but let me tell you something. I know the former Secretary of the Army, he was a very dear friend of mine, Marty Hoffman, before he passed away. He said, Janet, it's way over 100 a day. Now, let me say that again. We're losing over 100 veterans a day to suicide. So I took it upon myself to understand what I was getting into, understanding and studying the brain, and that's when I was introduced to hyperbaric oxygen therapy, neurofeedback, DNA repair, all these things that are so powerful for the brain and for the consciousness of our military. So I want to just give a huge, huge thank you to especially what's going on in our country right now with just so much darkness out there. I want to thank our military. I want to thank their families, their wives, their mothers, their brothers, their sisters, their children. They have given up. They've given it all. They've given it all. And I am honored and blessed to have worked with these brave soldiers and veterans and their families and our first responders over the last 15 years. And I can honestly say Barry and I have not lost one to suicide under our watch. So to me, we can all make a difference. Pick that one thing, children.
Yes.
Children. We're going to be talking with Kristen about our foster children and our children that don't have families. People, we want to come together as a community here on this show. And if you're interested in doing an interview with us, get a hold of us. We'd love to share your story because we're all about. I think every time you turn something on
You know,
these days, it's
everybody
negative,
has
and
a
it's
story.
absolutely.
And what it does is
Absolutely.
it tells us, number one, we are not alone.
Absolutely. Yes.
Number two, what can we learn from that?
Yes.
And number three, how can we help?
You know, with this whole work with the veterans, it's changed me.
Yes.
And I tell many people this, that when you're in that foxhole, they've taught me this. When you're in the foxhole, it doesn't matter the color of the skin. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter. You are there in that foxhole to make sure that that person stays alive and they make sure you stay alive. People, this is what we need to do as a society. It doesn't matter where you've come from. What matters is that you have a soul that we want to love, and we want the love back, no matter who we are. And so I think in this journey together, I think it's an amazing opportunity for us to all come together. So we are really looking forward to maybe doing some shows live on location, bringing people in like little Christopher and these people that have had these amazing stories to share. And, you know, get off that seat that you keep complaining. Get off the complaining seat of your life and get out into understanding the value of every breath that you take. Because there's people fighting for that breath right now. They're fighting, and you have it. So embrace that breath, embrace the life, embrace the giving and the loving, that we are so grateful to be alive on this planet. It is a gift to be alive here. So that's my soapbox for today, but I really mean it from my heart, because people, you know, I have dedicated my life to serving others, because I walked hospitals 14 years with my children, and all I wanted was one more day with my children. So look at the people that you love, and most of all, look in the mirror, look at yourself and say, I love you. So with that, I think we're going to close shop today. And next week, again, we have Mark Squibb with Live02. Our website is soulfulrosie.com. And I'm going to get Christopher Salmon in here. And after his stem cell, they're saying that it's going to take a couple months, but he should be sitting up and potentially starting to walk.
I was amazed at when I saw his progress just with the hyperbaric, then the Avicin, the DNA, and it's just unbelievable.
Mind-boggling, isn't it? So don't ever give up. You just don't ever give up. You know the duck hanging from the thing, and he's about to fall off the bread. Don't give up. Keep it going. So thank you so much, and we are going to end our show today with my mantra. And please tune in and share this with others, because we're trying to be the light out there for all of you, because we need to bring more light to this planet. So with all that said, this is Soulful Rosie and Friends with my amazing co-hostess, Dr. Denise Tropia. And remember, when love and intent align with the mind, body, and spirit, we create the art of soulful living. God bless you, pay it forward, and give a smile out this week. Bye-bye now. Thank you.
Welcome to Dr. Janet Franco's new show, aka Soulful Rosie, with her co-host and resident physician of her Triple Crown of Health and Wellness, Dr. Denise Tropia, as they delve into the world's most advanced health sciences available and bring the experts to you. Soulful Rosie's life continues on her long, tenacious journey as a humanitarian, supporting our veterans and those who suffer. This earned her Woman of the Year with My Vegas Magazine 2018. Dr. Denise is a longtime podiatrist and foot surgeon in Las Vegas, Nevada. Tune in now as they embrace the love with Dr. Franco's heartfelt insights and Dr. Denise with her vast knowledge of science and medicine. The dynamic duo of complementary healthcare and healing. Reach out to them online. They would love to hear from you. They are excited to spend the next hour with you on the Soulful Rosie and Friends live television show.
Dr. Janet Franco here, also known as Soulful Rosie. It's time to take action and join us as we spend these precious moments with our heroes. You will soon meet our 4 brave warriors while they share their courageous stories. Follow our team as we go deep within a space and time rarely felt and seen. Suicides are at all-time high. PTSD is out of control. Please help us help them. How, you ask? It's been an honor to have